It all began one evening when I was sitting at the computer in this small apartment that my parents had in Lakeview Terrace. I turned to see my father behind me, and he was putting on his shoes. And I said, curiously, "Where are you going?" My dad said, "Do you remember my Hawaiian friend Claire?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I do. How is she?" "She's good." Well, she invited me to some Toastmaster speech class, something of the sort that she belongs to. So I said these famous words, "Can I come too?" He said sure. So I quickly grabbed my shoes, I clicked off the computer, and I went on my way with my parents to go visit Claire at a Toastmaster meeting at the Holiday Inn, of all places. Now she sat at the end in her wheelchair next to her husband Phil, and then everybody on down the line. What I didn't know was that Claire was the vice president of membership of Open House Toastmasters. Now, in the beginning, see, I didn't join Toastmasters because I wasn't afraid to speak. No. I joined Toastmasters so I could learn how to properly talk to adults, because I have no problem talking to children and speaking to them for 40, 50 minutes, capturing their attention, especially if they're between the ages of 1 and 6. Yes, it's very easy for me, and I have great leadership skills. People used to ask me in my former day job as a daycare assistant, how is it that 5 days a week you can actually keep track of 12 kids, feed 12 children, change their diapers periodically, teach them how to tie their shoe, have fun and play, learn to get along with each other, and all sorts of other things. And I said it's very easy. Now in a grown-up setting, it's hard for me to do, because I was not around grown-ups 24/7. I mean, just their parents, but I was really around children 24/7. So that's originally why I joined Toastmasters. I could not wait. I was so excited. When are my manuals coming in? Now, mind you, I didn't join the first night. I came to 8 meetings before I actually joined. Because I wanted to get a feel for it. And at the end, they make you stand up and how'd you like the meeting? I even joined with my dad. Now, eventually, my dad went a different route, and it's not in Toastmasters right now. I'm still working on that. However, I got excited when this came in the mail. This was the Competent Communicator. I ripped it open like it was a Christmas present. I couldn't wait. I even got the letter that says, "Welcome to Toastmasters," etc., etc., and I was so excited. I felt like a kid in a candy store. And I was on my way. I remember I had actually practiced and memorized my icebreaker speech. That was just about me. Richard Stewart came up to the lectern and was my evaluator, and he gave me marks. After he gave me such an effective evaluation, what did I do? I actually did something. I picked him as my mentor. He's still my mentor today, but I rarely use him. Now, this is what happened. I went home that night after a successful meeting, even though I didn't win Best Speaker. The fact that I got it out of the way and I didn't use any notes on my first speech. I looked in the back of this. I read this thing cover to cover. And then I found this, and it says DTM. Now I got curious, what is a DTM? So, I went back to the next meeting that we had for Open House Toastmasters. And when I did, I saw that Claire had a badge that said DTM. Now, Richard never really wore his badge that said DTM, but it's hiding somewhere. Maybe under his cowboy hat or his boots. But it's there. I know that. It's been in Toastmasters for 30 plus years. Now, I kept wondering, what is a DTM? Well, in the back there, like I showed you, when you look and you go through and you find it, and it goes through, it's got communication track and a leadership track. And I thought, okay, I'm on track. I'm racing through. It took me, I'm guessing, about maybe 6 to 8 months for me to finish my CC. It's pretty fast because I'm, okay, what's the next speech? What do I do next? And I was going through, I felt like I was on a train. And here I was, chugging along, going through. Now, I had no idea how to get to DTM and what the heck DTM was. But I looked at that going, you know what? I realized something. It's overwhelming. Forget it. There's no possible way for me to be a DTM because there's too much to do. When I read that thing cover to cover, I said, you got to be an advanced communicator bronze, an advanced communicator silver, and you got to do all these advanced manuals, and I'm not even done with my CC yet. I stayed up all night once, reading that thing going, how the heck am I going to finish this and then get through those other manuals? I was calculating and doing math on a notebook, trying to figure this out. It was scaring the heck out of me. That's why I stayed up all night long, worrying that I would never make it to DTM. This was only my first few months in Toastmasters, and I couldn't figure this out. Here I was going along on this track, and I was chugging along, and I jumped in, and I was on board, and I had all these members behind me on board, helping me, supporting me, the club officers, the district. And then I stopped suddenly at Advanced Communicator Bronze. I didn't move. Now, as far as the leadership track goes, the CL, I was getting that all filled out, bringing it to every meeting until it came time to be a mentor. And I did. They got someone, a new member, and they said, I said, I need to have somebody that's a mentor. I went to the officers, and I asked. So they gave me someone. After a short time, that someone they gave me decided to leave Toastmasters. So now I had to go hunting around. Eventually, it took me 5 people to go through that left Toastmasters. I even mentored a husband and wife for my storytelling club, but didn't get them to sign the darn manual, and they had given at least 4 speeches before they quit. So I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? So I went back to my home club and said, I need a mentor. I need to fill this out. Otherwise, I'm not going to finish this thing. How am I going to get it any further? Well, this is what I did. We had a member. He was pretty new to Toastmasters. He was giving another speech. And he came a little bit late, so I wasn't sure that he was showing up. And that was this year, back in March. And at the end of the whole meeting, you know what he said? He said, guess what? I hate to say this to all of you, but this is my last meeting. I'm moving out of state with my family because my company has relocated me to Ohio. So the first thing I did, I'm waiting for the Sergeant at Arms to gavel out the meeting. I grabbed my CL and ran down to him before he left. And I said, can you please sign this for me, Indrajit? And you know what he did? Do you have a pen? Here. He signed it. After 4 years, I finally finished my competent leadership. So I felt like I was on track. Now I'm moving again. This was success. But I still have not made it to DTM. This was overwhelming that I'm stuck on the tracks. What am I going to do? It's like the train stopped. It wasn't moving at all. There weren't any boulders. There was nothing in the way except me. Well, last year, during the fall, I got really excited because I figured it all out. How to get to DTM and exactly what it was. I practically stayed up. I went to bed probably about 5 o'clock in the morning because I was too darn excited and couldn't sleep. I decided to make a checklist. How do you get to Distinguished Toastmaster? And since I have a goal of being Distinguished Toastmaster, one for each of the 3 clubs I belong to, that's what I did. I listed out all the projects in the Competent Communicator, all the things you're going to do in leadership. And each time I finish something, I check mark it. And I put the date next to when I finished it, so that I know that I'm on track. Now my train is moving again. And another step to becoming a Distinguished Toastmaster is you have to be an area governor. And because Joe is now the district governor, and I made a promise to my Auntie Joe that I was going to help her out, I stepped in to be area governor. Now sure, I've only been in Toastmasters for 5 years, but I said, if I have great leaders that I've been following, like Carolyn and Annette and Tammy and Marina and Linnea, even Enrico and Paul, they've all been past district and area and division governors. Then why shouldn't I be on that list? How come I'm not going down the hug line at the conferences I'm chairing? Guess what? It's my turn. So, if you are afraid or you're stuck on the tracks and you cannot move forward to becoming Distinguished Toastmaster, talk to leaders within the district because we're all here to help you. And don't be afraid. I am no longer afraid of becoming a Distinguished Toastmaster. And I promise I will do it. And together, me and Janice are going to walk the hug line with our distinguished Toastmaster. Yes. So thank you all for allowing me to help me become a distinguished Toastmaster in the near future. Mr. Toastmaster.